One of my favorite people at Fox, Pete Schrager. Peter, Fox Sports NFL reporter. He's got a podcast, drops every Tuesday. iHeart, he's great. Power Brokers. So many things here that you know about. We were just talking off the air about this. I'll get to Justin Fields in a second. But it is unbelievable that in league history, no receivers come out of college and had more targets, catches than Puka Nacua for the Rams. Now, we had heard in camp it was good. He's Cooper Kupp. And by the way, he was not a first-round pick. He was not a second-round pick. How has he been able to integrate to this offense so quickly?
Colin, he was the 20th wide receiver taken in April's draft.
Wow.
20th. He's already become part of that crew that like Stafford wakes up and does the morning breakfast crew at 5 a.m. Who wants to come in? We're watching film. Nacua put himself right in the mix. The wild thing is there were scouts in LA who were pounding the door for him or pounding the table for him. And like McVay was in the room and they're like, all right, if you guys love him so much, let's get him. Now he's got 25 catches through 2 weeks. That's an NFL record for kids. Now listen, here's the crazy part. If you go and you look at day 3 picks, which he is, and you say 25 catches through 2 games, what's the record for 3 games? He would already have it. What's the record for 4 games? He would already have it. So he's already got the most catches ever to start an NFL career as a day 3 pick through 4 games. We've only had 2 games. And it's interesting because you mentioned Cooper Kupp. Kupp this summer was unable to really practice with the team. Yeah. Wasn't really with them. Came back for a little bit. And instead of them sitting in the corner and crying like most people thought they would or being written off, Stafford looked at Tutu Atwell and looked at Nacua and said, guys, let's get to work. And they put the work in so that by week 1, it was like they've got a rhythm. How'd this happen? It's because they knew Cooper Kupp wasn't with them most of this last few months. And these guys already had the reps and they were going. So I don't think anyone expected these numbers. Stafford's targeted him on, targetable passes 30 different times in 2 weeks. These are insane numbers, the volume that he's getting, but he's delivering. He's tough. He's smart. He's a really well-liked kid in the building.
So the Justin Fields situation, I put up something earlier today. I said that the 5 stages of failed quarterbacks: hype, inconsistency, mounting losses, media heat, blame, and then it's thanks for flying United. It's over, right? So the big quarterback draft class, they're going to be 6-7 guys. Chicago could have 2 top 6-7 picks. My guess is they'll probably go quarterback. What is your take on just what's unfolding in Chicago with Justin Fields?
Yesterday was a nadir moment. It was the bottom of the bottom for Chicago as an organization. The Allen Williams situation is a huge elephant in the room over there. And then you've got this Justin Fields situation over here. And Braxton Jones, their starting tackle's been put on IR, so he's not going to be available. So a wild day in the building. Now, the one thing I would say about Fields, whether his words were taken out of context or not, they go to practice and, I'm sure a PR person's like, you got to go and you got to address this. It's going crazy on Twitter that you threw the coaches under the bus. He's thinking, I didn't throw the coaches under the bus. Watch the full clip. I didn't do that. And my words were taken out of context. Then he doubles back and has to address it again. And the first thing out of his mouth was, now I know your job as media is to go get clicks. And then, that turns off people right away. And then it's like, here's an apology. And here, I didn't mean to say it. And I didn't say that. So then it just spirals and spirals and spirals. The truth of the matter is this: in Chicago, they were the worst team in football last year. They had the number 1 overall pick, and they had so much faith in Justin Fields that they were like, let's trade back. Let's get him a weapon in DJ Moore.
Yeah.
They've lost 12 straight games. Yeah. He looks like he's regressed.
Yeah.
The offense doesn't look good. And I'll tell you, Colin, you don't get 2 first overall picks in back-to-back years and not think to yourself, maybe we take a quarterback. So it's rubber meets the road. If he wins, he'll be the quarterback. If he's not, they're going to have to look at other options.
Yeah. So, yesterday we talked about this. I would stay with Zach Wilson. Aaron's coming back. I would probably draft a quarterback somewhere, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I don't think the Jets have a 2nd pick. I'd get a left tackle. Somewhere later, I would go get a quarterback in this draft. Zach will be gone. But there's a lot of Carson Wentz, Kirk Cousins. They're playing the Patriots. I couldn't tell you the last time they beat the Patriots. I think it's 14 straight. This organization really well. Everybody loves Saleh. I think they have a good GM. I didn't like the quarterback pick. Whatever. Everybody has their misses, right? What's the vibe in New York? This game, Jets overall.
This is a huge game for them psychologically because here the Patriots come in and they're kind of on the ropes. They were 0-2 after 2 losses at home. And as much as the Jets can make excuses with Zach Wilson or not, 14 straight losses, they have to get this win. They're in their building. And if you are this team that is well-rounded and wasn't just Aaron Rodgers' team, you beat this Patriots squad that comes in. And that's the message all week. Sauce Gardner came out and it looked like he was making a major soundbite because I think he said that the Patriots offense is pretty vanilla, something, or I'm paraphrasing, something like that. And then he came around back and was like, but they don't make mistakes and they don't screw up. And that's why they're so good. So he kind of, backed out with that. But this Jets team, none of these young Jets players have beaten the Patriots ever. There's only 2 players on the Patriots who have ever lost to the Jets. It's Matthew Slater and David Andrews, the center. It has become such a psychological warfare when they see that logo that maybe they build it up too much. Maybe they don't. Last year, Saleh got them so amped, so ready to go. It's 3-3 with 30 seconds left, and Marcus Jones returns a punt in the last seconds to beat the Jets up in Foxborough, and it was like soul crushing, and that was the season. The Jets, it's okay to lose games along the way here with Zach Wilson. To lose to the Patriots when the Patriots come in at 0-2 and are really in this rocky moment for themselves, to lose at home, I almost feel like the Jets, this is a must win in week 3.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. So a lot of stuff is correctable. You kind of know once you pay a quarterback what you pay Mahomes and Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, somewhere somebody's not going to eat. It's going to be, right? Their receiving core is a bunch of guys, and Sky Moore could be something. But I do wonder, their offense in 2 weeks has not looked great. And that's, playing a Thursday game, you get extra time. Is there a little concern with Brett Veach, Reed, Mahomes? It doesn't look right.
Well, what's funny is that, Bieniemy interviews for all these head coaching jobs, never gets one. I think he interviewed for 16 different head coaching jobs. He takes it upon himself and says, I'm never going to get one in this current situation. I'm going to go to Washington, and, whether or not they have a quarterback or not, we'll figure it out. He goes to Washington. And everyone just assumes, all right, well, whatever, they'll be fine. Like, they haven't been great on offense. Right. They really haven't. And that wide receivers room last year, they got away with it. Juju was solid. Yes. And Valdez-Scantling was solid. They got away with it.
Yeah.
And though those rookies stepped up, week 1, they didn't. And in week 2, Tony didn't drop any passes, but he certainly didn't make any big dynamic plays. Like, they need to get going if they're going to compete with these big AFC teams. I feel like this is almost a sparring partner this weekend. The Bears are coming to Arrowhead. Like, get your groove back as an offense, because Steve Spagnuolo's defense has been excellent.
Yeah. They've
held the Lions to 21, and then one of those was a pick 6. And then last week, Trevor Lawrence scores 9. Chris Jones looked like he was a man who could not be blocked last week. The offense needs to get going. I think this week is going to be one of those. And I know we've got our A crew out there. I'm not predicting a blowout. We want you to watch to the very end. But I feel like this might be one of those, like, hey, let's go get our groove back a little bit.
Yeah, I feel the same way. All right, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. We talked about this yesterday on the show. I love young love. What do we make of this?
So do I.
Yeah.
I want it to happen. This is my worlds colliding. It's pop culture. It's football. I love Kelce. Don't know Swift. I would love to know Swift. Don't know her. I want this to be true. Here's the test, Colin, because I think the Kelce brothers, they're businessmen. They're not denying it. They're not this is good for their business too. They get it. Like, they got a podcast they got to sell too. And the Swift audience is big. They play the Jets at MetLife next Sunday night.
Oh.
If Taylor Swift is in the building, we're on to something. If she decides to casually not make this, or she is unseen, then I'm calling the Kelce's out. This is all a business ploy, and they're just using her name for fame. That's my call.
I think you're probably right. Be honest. I will say this, though, in a weird way, and I never care about this stuff. I'm into this one. Yeah. I've never in my life cared about pop culture. I'm totally into this.
Me too. I love this. I love it. And I can't wait for the inevitable breakup, and she writes some album about Travis Kelce. It'll be awesome.
Ian Eagle, love it. He's dropping that in every time he can with a broadcast.
That's great.
Peter Schrager. Great seeing you, buddy. I don't know why this
You're the man. Thanks, Colin.
Intrigues me so much. She's a phenomenon. She's like Beyonce. You get very rarely Beatles, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, like literally changes the paradigm of music, and the Kelce's are very funny podcast, very media savvy. Maybe it is just a ruse to get guys like us talk about it.
Yeah, it's not a ruse.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.